There is a hidden language in the way we connect, an unspoken current that flows between hearts and minds, and when we learn to understand it, we discover that attraction is not about chasing, it is about awakening the natural resonance that already exists within us and draws others effortlessly toward our presence. Attraction is rarely about the obvious things that we see on the surface. It is not merely about appearances or rehearsed lines. It is about the subtle currents of energy and perception that flow between two people, often unseen but deeply felt. To understand what truly draws a man in, one must first step into the realm of the mind and the heart, exploring the silent language of desire and connection. Men, like all humans, are influenced by patterns that go beyond what they consciously acknowledge. There is a primal, almost instinctual response to certain behaviors, tones, and energies that can either awaken fascination or diminish it. Recognizing these patterns is not about manipulation. It is about aligning oneself with the natural flow of attraction, creating resonance rather than forcing reaction. The mind of attraction is complex, yet it can be understood through a lens of awareness and presence. When a woman approaches interaction with clarity, confidence, and calmness, it subtly communicates that she is grounded, whole, and complete in herself. This completeness is magnetic because it bypasses the superficial layers and reaches the part of a man's mind that seeks depth, stability, and authenticity. Men are drawn to energy that signals vitality, emotional balance, and intelligence. It is the awareness of one's own desires, boundaries, and intentions that quietly yet powerfully shapes how one is perceived. When a woman engages from this place, she activates curiosity and interest because she is not merely responding to him, she is fully present and engaged with life itself. Understanding attraction also requires recognizing the difference between reaction and response. A reactive energy often stems from fear, neediness, or insecurity, which can inadvertently signal a lack of inner stability. On the other hand, a responsive energy, born from self-awareness, patience, and confidence, creates a magnetic pull because it allows the natural rhythm of interaction to unfold. It respects the man's autonomy while asserting one's own presence. There is a subtle psychological turn-on that occurs when a man senses that a woman is attuned to her own life, her own passions, and her own sense of purpose. This sense of alignment is far more compelling than any superficial gesture or phrase. Finally, attraction is rooted in the invisible dance between curiosity and recognition. Men are intrigued by those who awaken questions, who challenge assumptions, and who reflect light on dimensions of themselves they may not often explore. The mind of attraction responds to this dance with heightened engagement, fascination, and desire. Understanding these subtleties and approaching interaction with awareness, presence, and authenticity transforms connection from a simple encounter into a profound and magnetic experience. True attraction is never forced. It flows naturally when one aligns with the deeper principles of self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and conscious engagement with another human being. There is a power in mystery that cannot be overstated, a subtle force that draws attention and deepens interest without the need for explanation or overexposure. Mystery is not about playing games or being distant for the sake of manipulation. It is about understanding the natural rhythm of attraction and honoring the space between knowing and discovering. When a woman allows herself to remain slightly unknowable, she taps into a psychological trigger that awakens curiosity, imagination, and desire. Men are instinctively drawn to what they cannot fully grasp at once, for the human mind seeks patterns, understanding, and resolution. Yet when faced with layers that are not immediately revealed, the mind becomes captivated, eager to explore and learn more, and in this journey of discovery, attraction grows stronger and more enduring. Creating intrigue begins with presence and intentionality. It is expressed in the pauses between words, the subtle expressions in a glance, and the confidence that comes from not feeling the need to fill every silence. Mystery thrives in authenticity because it is rooted in being fully oneself without over-explaining or performing. A woman who knows her own mind, who honors her own emotions and experiences, naturally projects depth, and depth is inherently intriguing. It signals to a man that there is more to explore, more to understand, and more to experience. When curiosity is sparked in this way, attraction shifts from superficial desire to a deeper, more resonant connection. The power of mystery also lies in selective sharing. It is not about hiding essential truths, but about pacing revelation in a way that maintains engagement and excitement. When a woman shares her thoughts, stories, and feelings with discernment, each layer of personality that is revealed feels like a discovery, a reward, and a privilege. Men respond to this because it allows them to feel as though they are part of a journey, that they are invited into a space that is not freely given to everyone. This creates a sense of value, respect, and emotional investment. The subtle interplay of revelation and concealment fuels desire and keeps connection vibrant, dynamic, and alive. Mystery also encourages men to bring their best selves forward. When they are intrigued, they are more attentive, more present, and more engaged. They feel compelled to explore, to understand, and to contribute to the unfolding story that they sense in her. This is not about control. It is about creating an environment where natural attraction can flourish, where desire is nurtured, not through force, but through the artful balance of openness and restraint. It is the rhythm of giving just enough to ignite interest while leaving space for imagination, reflection, and emotional engagement. Ultimately, the power of mystery and intrigue is a reflection of inner wholeness. A woman who embodies her own passions, thoughts, and experiences without needing constant validation is inherently magnetic. Mystery becomes the expression of confidence, self-respect, and alignment with one's own truth. It is this balance of accessibility and depth, clarity and enigma, presence and reserve that creates a magnetic pull impossible to resist. When a man senses that there is more to discover, he is drawn not just to her presence, but to the journey of knowing her. And in that journey, true attraction is born and sustained. Confidence is one of the most magnetic qualities a woman can embody, yet it is often misunderstood. It is not about arrogance, pretense, or a need to dominate. It is about a quiet, steady sense of self-assurance that radiates from within. Confidence is born from knowing one's own worth, recognizing one's unique strengths, and embracing imperfections without fear or apology. It is the energy that signals to the world, and to a man specifically, that you are whole, capable, and deserving of respect. When a woman embodies this sense of self-value, she naturally attracts attention, admiration, and desire, not because she seeks it, but because it is drawn to authenticity and integrity. Self-value begins with self-awareness. A woman who understands her emotions, her desires, and her boundaries can navigate interactions with clarity and grace. She knows what she will accept, what she will not tolerate, and what she truly seeks in a relationship. This clarity is magnetic because it removes uncertainty, drama, and the subtle tension of neediness. Men are drawn to women who are centered, who have their own lives, passions, and purposes, because this presence communicates stability, depth, and emotional intelligence. Confidence signals that attraction is not about filling a void, but about sharing one's already full life, creating a dynamic where connection comes from choice rather than necessity. The power of self-value is evident in the way a woman carries herself. It shows in her posture, in her tone of voice, and in her interactions with others. A confident woman does not compete for attention or validation. She engages with authenticity, curiosity, and joy. She allows her natural charisma to shine through because it is grounded in self-acceptance rather than performance. This is profoundly appealing because it creates a safe space where a man can also feel respected, seen, and appreciated. There is an unspoken psychological turn-on when a man recognizes that a woman values herself deeply. It ignites admiration, desire, and an urge to invest in the connection. Confidence also transforms the way a woman responds to challenges in relationships. She does not react from fear or insecurity. She responds with wisdom, patience, and clarity. She understands that attraction is not about chasing or persuading, but about aligning with mutual respect, compatibility, and shared values. This self-assured energy creates a sense of security and trust, which deepens emotional intimacy and strengthens the bond. When a woman knows her worth, she sets the standard for how she wishes to be treated, and men are naturally compelled to rise to meet that standard. Ultimately, confidence and self-value are reflections of inner wholeness. They communicate that a woman is complete, independent, and capable of creating her own happiness. This energy is profoundly attractive because it aligns with a man's desire to connect with someone who is vibrant, empowered, and authentic. It is not about perfection. It is about embracing one's own essence fully, and in doing so, creating a presence that draws admiration, respect, and genuine desire. True confidence melts into charm, grace, and magnetism, making the woman not only irresistible, but unforgettable. Emotional intelligence is one of the most powerful forces in human connection, yet it is often overlooked in discussions of attraction. It is the quiet awareness that allows a woman to perceive, understand, and respond to the subtle currents of emotion around her, creating a depth of connection that goes far beyond physical or superficial appeal. Sensitivity is not weakness. It is a strength that reflects insight, empathy, and the ability to engage with a man on multiple levels. When a woman demonstrates emotional intelligence, she communicates that she is present, attuned, and capable of holding space for both herself and the person she connects with. This attunement is deeply magnetic because it touches a man's sense of being understood, appreciated, and emotionally safe. Understanding emotional cues begins with awareness. A woman who can read the nuances of body language, tone, and unspoken expression gains access to the layers beneath surface conversation. She senses moods, anticipates needs, and discerns feelings before they are explicitly stated. This ability to perceive without judgment creates an unspoken bond, a resonance that makes a man feel seen in ways he may not often experience. There is an inherent psychological turn-on when a man senses that a woman is not only listening but truly understanding him, when she is responding to his essence rather than reacting to his words alone. It is this depth of engagement that fosters trust, admiration, and desire. Sensitivity also requires balance. Emotional intelligence is not about over-investing or losing oneself in the feelings of another. It is about maintaining awareness while honoring boundaries and self-respect. A woman who embodies this balance signals strength and maturity. She can empathize and connect without being consumed, creating an environment where vulnerability is welcomed but not exploited. This balance is attractive because it mirrors emotional stability, a quality that allows intimacy to flourish naturally. Men are drawn to women who can engage with emotion thoughtfully, who can navigate the complexities of human experience with grace and calm, and who can offer understanding without losing themselves. Moreover, emotional intelligence amplifies connection by encouraging authentic communication. A woman who expresses her own feelings with clarity and composure inspires openness in a man. She models emotional honesty, demonstrating that sharing thoughts and feelings is safe and valued. This creates a cycle of mutual vulnerability, deepening trust and fostering a sense of partnership. Emotional intelligence is the invisible thread that binds curiosity, attraction, and respect, transforming simple interactions into meaningful experiences. Ultimately, sensitivity and emotional intelligence are reflections of self-awareness and maturity. They allow a woman to connect on levels beyond the physical, engaging a man's mind and heart simultaneously. The magnetic quality lies in the ability to offer understanding, validation, and presence, not as a tool of manipulation, but as an expression of genuine authenticity. When a woman navigates relationships with insight, empathy, and clarity, she creates an environment where attraction is natural, desire is sustained, and connection is profoundly fulfilling. Emotional intelligence is not simply a skill, It is a way of being that resonates deeply, drawing a man in by meeting him not just at the surface, but at the core of who he is. There is an undeniable magnetism in joy, in laughter, and in the lightness of being. Playfulness is not superficial. It is a reflection of inner freedom, self-assurance, and the ability to engage with life fully and without fear. A woman who embraces humor and play in her interactions activates a man's brain in ways that go beyond attraction, creating a sense of ease, excitement, and emotional connection. Men are drawn to energy that is vibrant, spontaneous, and unburdened by overthinking or tension. Playfulness creates a space where curiosity, flirtation, and emotional resonance can flourish, transforming ordinary moments into experiences that linger in memory. Humor is one of the most powerful tools in building rapport and intimacy. It signals intelligence, creativity, and the capacity to view life with perspective. A woman who can laugh at herself, share in joy, or gently tease in a light-hearted manner communicates confidence and authenticity simultaneously. This is deeply appealing because it allows a man to relax, to lower his guard, and to engage more fully. When interactions are infused with humor, attraction is no longer about performance or expectation. It becomes a dance of shared energy, a playful exchange that strengthens bonds and sparks desire. The laughter shared in these moments is more than amusement. It is a connection on an emotional and even subconscious level, a bridge between hearts that invites closeness without pressure. Playfulness also fosters curiosity and engagement. When a woman approaches interaction with a sense of adventure, spontaneity, or creative energy, she invites a man to step out of routine and explore possibilities. This is a subtle psychological turn-on because it taps into the part of the mind that craves novelty, excitement, and emotional stimulation. Men are captivated not by perfection, but by the ability to experience joy, surprise, and delight in the presence of someone who is fully alive. Lightness in energy creates momentum in attraction, allowing tension to dissipate and natural chemistry to emerge. Importantly, playfulness and humor do not diminish seriousness or depth. They coexist with emotional intelligence and authenticity. A woman who can balance lightheartedness with sensitivity communicates that she is emotionally flexible, resilient, and capable of navigating life's complexities with grace. This balance is profoundly appealing because it mirrors the balance a man seeks in his own life. Someone who can be a partner in adventure, a confidant in reflection, and a source of energy and joy simultaneously. It signals adaptability, strength, and the capacity for a fulfilling, dynamic connection. Ultimately, playfulness, humor, and lightness are expressions of inner freedom and self-assuredness. They create an atmosphere in which attraction can flourish naturally without force or pretense. A woman who brings joy into interactions, who invites laughter, and who engages with life lightly yet fully, awakens desire and admiration at the deepest levels. This energy does not just attract, it captivates. It leaves an imprint on the mind and heart, creating a magnetic pull that inspires connection, curiosity, and sustained engagement. In the dance of attraction, it is the joy, the laughter, and the lightness that transform mere interest into a profound and lasting fascination. Authenticity is the cornerstone of lasting attraction, and alignment is its natural companion. To be authentic is to fully inhabit one's own truth, to live in harmony with one's values, passions, and desires, and to express oneself without pretense or mask. When a woman embraces authenticity, she radiates a magnetic energy that cannot be replicated or manufactured. It is not about fitting expectations or molding oneself to someone else's ideals. It is about showing up as the fullest, most genuine version of oneself. Men are innately drawn to authenticity because it signals honesty, integrity, and emotional maturity. When a woman is aligned with her own essence, attraction becomes effortless, natural, and deeply compelling. Alignment begins with self-awareness. A woman who knows her priorities, her boundaries, and her core beliefs navigates life with clarity and confidence. She is guided by her inner compass rather than external pressures, and this clarity is visible in the way she speaks, moves, and interacts with the world. Men sense when a woman is in alignment with herself. It creates a resonance that is subtle yet powerful, a vibration that draws them in without words or effort. Authenticity paired with alignment communicates stability and depth, qualities that are far more alluring than superficial beauty or charm alone. Being authentic also means embracing vulnerability without fear. It is the courage to reveal oneself fully, to share thoughts, feelings, and aspirations with openness, while remaining grounded in one's own worth. This vulnerability is magnetic because it invites a man to connect on a deeper level, beyond surface attraction. When a woman is aligned, she does not seek validation or approval. She engages in interaction as a choice, as a conscious offering of herself, not a plea for attention. This self-possession sparks admiration, respect, and desire because it reflects emotional independence and inner strength. Alignment also manifests in consistency. A woman whose words, actions, and energy are harmonious communicates authenticity effortlessly. There is no need for performance or embellishment. Her presence alone conveys truth and reliability. Men are drawn to this because it signals safety, predictability, and emotional intelligence. Authenticity is magnetic because it eliminates doubt and confusion, allowing connection to grow naturally. It fosters trust, encourages openness, and nurtures the development of meaningful, lasting relationships. Ultimately, authenticity and alignment are reflections of inner wholeness. They are not strategies or tactics, but ways of being that resonate deeply with human desire. A woman who lives aligned with her values, who expresses herself honestly, and who embodies her passions and principles naturally attracts those who are attuned to the same frequency. In this space, attraction becomes effortless, desire becomes sincere, and connection becomes profound. True magnetism arises not from trying to impress or manipulate, but from being fully present, fully authentic, and fully aligned with one's own life. It is in this state that the most meaningful, powerful, and enduring forms of attraction are born, creating connections that are not only felt, but remembered, not only experienced, but treasured.